time that we need to deal with the real issues, could President William Ruto be hoodwinking Kenyans with early campaigns?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I have always maintained that the problem that Kenya has, even when we talk about the issue of the third liberation, is an economic liberation. Politically, we had been liberated with multi-party system. So someone can run for an office the way he wants, but the issue is economic. And unfortunately, let me tell you what, Joel, that the normal life of the citizens are always given what's called a last chance. If you look at John chapter 10, verse 10, John 10:10, they say, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And actually what Jesus meant was that he has come for the lost, the least, and the last. So the president was supposed to focus on the lost, the least, and the last, because there are very many people. Go to Kawangware, go to Kangemi, go to Gudurai, go to Ruma, go to Madare, go to Kibra. Those are the lost, the least, and the last, and they're majority. But when we create a government of minority, where you appoint people, then say we are in government. For example, there's a big problem now in Luo Nyanza, when Luo Nyanza leaders wake up and says, we are in government. The Luos are in government. Which government? Which Luos are in government? If somebody has been appointed in the government of William Ruto, he has gone individual capacity to serve the people. The government, we have the government of Kenya. There's no government of Luos, Kikuyus, Kalenjins. In fact, Luos are being deceived by being told they are in government. Kikuyus have been in government before. They still poverty. We want a government of Kenya. A government of Kenya is where all Kenyans are in government. We cannot have a government where we say we are in government. And in fact, to tell my fellow Luo friends is that for us Luos, government has been our enemy number one from the beginning. Even if Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was in government, we could see people still dying like Arguin Skodek, Tom Mboya, Oukos, and the rest. So we should move away from this thing, say government of a certain tribe. There should be a government of Kenya. In fact, the political alliances are made of kingpinship of let me appoint this person, then I go for their homecoming, then I can become popular. That will not work. And I can tell you, in 1996, July 5th, there was a weekly review which put Moi on the front page saying that Moi is wooing Luo Nyanza. Did he get those votes? No, he didn't get. So William Ruto is working on a path that did not work before, and it won't work again. And let me just go back to talk about numbers now. We have a budget which was passed in Parliament, isn't it? But the money has not been dispersed, isn't it? We are almost hitting 30 days. I'm concerned that the money that should go and talk about education, capitation, education, and the rest, that money should go. If I was president, I'll make it a rule that 30 days after budget is passed, money should be disbursed, not budget on a spreadsheet or piece of paper.
But I think the problem here, Prof. Ogola, is that the government never has this money. It's dependent on collection by
But
KRA.
they have money for
That's how the budget
homecoming.
operates.
No, they have money for homecoming. He has been told there's a logistic paraphernalia, all money to travel anywhere and do town halls. Let me talk about something very important, and that's why I disagree with Mheshimiwa, the issue of the president working everywhere. There's something we call time spent on poverty. When you have that rally, you saw it in Migori and Homa Bay, when you can see hundreds of thousands of people coming to listen to lies, well, they should have been in their businesses making money. We have seen as economics that there's a correlation between time spent on poverty and the difficulty to exit the poverty cycle.
It said there are at least some stipends.
No. in Kenya, the time spent on poverty gives Kenyans only 42% chance of getting out of poverty. Because what am I trying to say? In those town halls, you bring young people, start telling them about abduction. That if anybody is abducted, PS Omolo is here to address that matter, isn't it? When you take these young people and you align them to town halls, in fact, those town halls, I'm telling you, young people do not attend those things. Go study, do research, find how to get out of poverty, instead of sitting in town hall listening to open lies that are taking you nowhere. According to me, those town halls are not for you. They are for the politicians. Well, please don't hurry me because you took a lot of time with them. I'm just about to finish. So as far as I'm concerned, Homecoming is not in the budget, like he told me, that the president has money to do homecoming.
Honorable Ruku says they use their own money.
So
most of them are already millionaires.
Let them go and give us the bills, who paid those bills, isn't it? Let them give us the cost, who paid that money. Like that car. No,
the president had someone to finance.
Yes, we want them to give us a report, so and so, the source of the fund and how it was used, accountability and transparency, leadership and corruption. Those are the reasons why Gen Zs went to the street, my brother. So what I want to say is that Kenyans, let us not listen to the noise. Let's listen to the signal. If you say you are in government, like now, Lewis are saying that CS Wandai is in government, in charge of CS of energy, now there's power in Ugunja. Have you been given the meter? Can you afford to pay for the tokens? Because you can actually be given a meter and the transformer and nothing happens. I want to agree with my brothers from Kikuyu, from Mount Kenya. There's a time they told Uhuru Kenyatta that you cannot eat a road. But people say they are wrong. But let me tell you that they say where they were right, isn't it? Because instead of telling Lewis that I'm opening that road, I'm launching that road, but do they have something they are going to produce that can go through that road? Well, because
shift gears now, for the interest of time.
Let me explain this because this is important. Because people say, just do the road, things will come. But at the same time, roads can open up an economy. For example, the Mau Mau Road, which was designed by Mount Kenya people. What I'm trying to say here is that we must not just do roads, but we must have an economic viable productivity, either agriculture or manufacturing, that can be able to put money in the pockets of these people to afford the meter for power, even to afford the cars, instead of having a road that somebody cannot, a human being cannot drink fuel and run on the road. You need to have either a motorcycle or you need to have a vehicle, or you need to do something. You must be productive.
At this point, I'm now capping everyone's submission to 1 minute 30 for the interest of time. Honorable Ruku, I know you have a record to set straight as far as businesses are doing in this country. But even as the president is drawing Nyanza, teachers are striking. They are on the roads. Students who are supposed to be in school for their 3rd term, in fact sitting their KCSE soon, are still home, or there is this uncertainty. Are we having our priorities right? Is it time President Ruto sits, perhaps even TSC and Kupet, and talks, to them, rather than speaking on top of a vehicle that 13 billion has been released to the teachers? Is it time he comes on a boardroom or in a boardroom and sort this matter out before it's too late?
Teachers' remuneration is very important, is key. They are doing a very critical job for our children across the nation, and they should be supported by the government. They should be well remunerated, and any CBA or collective bargaining agreement with the teachers should be honored, because if there's something which we have to get right as a nation, one of it is education of our children, from the basic education to tertiary to the universities. We have to get it right, and we have to sacrifice whatever we can be able to sacrifice for us to be able to have a working education system. The other system also which we have to get it right is the health sector. We need to see our dispensaries across the nation. They are functioning, they have nurses, they have clinical officers, they have medicine. Level 4 hospitals across the nation, they are working. Level 5 hospitals, the same to the national referral hospitals. Health sector and education is where it pains most for the very poor in our society. I'm saying this because I have seen poor parents becoming extremely desperate because they can't be able to take their children to school. I have been there sympathizing, empathizing with poor parents who are overburdened by fees payment.
By the way, I've been asking this every member about the collapsing of all these, bursaries and scholarships. Will you also will to forfeit the bursaries
I will come to that
is contained in the CDF?
Also, I've organized medical camps in my constituency, several of them. And Chacha, I can tell you, we have a big problem in our homesteads across the nation. As far as health is concerned, people are sick and they can't afford to go to hospitals. So whatever it takes, I would request the president in a very respectful way to ensure students are in school, schools are running, our education system is working. Our health system also must work. This pains most to the very poor in our communities.
And just to be on record on the CDF matter being collapsed to form one fund to, of course, look into the education matters.
We know our past, we know where we are coming from. When the resources were at the top without proper ways of trickling down to the to the people.
So in other words, you're defending bursaries being offered under the CDF.
Why,
for the interest of time, 1 minute 30 is out.
Why do you want me? Why are you? What are you saying? But I'm just trying to explain my point. Okay? Because I can't say yes or no. I have to give context on what I want to say. I represent a very marginalized community, very extremely marginalized, and that's why we are saying we have to get out of this business of Mount Kenya, because our problems are completely different.
What do you mean?
We don't have tea. We don't have tea. We don't have coffee. We don't have macadamia. We don't have milk.
So you want to split the mountain?
Our problems are very different.
So you want to split the mountain, Honorable Ruko?
Listen, what I'm saying is that I come from a very marginalized community where fee payment is critical. If we are going to consolidate all the money we have from all bursary funds we have, so that the kids of marginalized communities can have free education, I'll be the first person to support.
To support, well. But even just...
I'll be the first person to support.
Before moving to Julia Shege, you stated something about getting out of Mount Kenya. What do you mean? You want to split the mountain? Regard has been uniting it.
Chacha, I want to put this for the record. That the problems of more than 3/4 of Embu County does not have milk, does not have tea, coffee, avocados, or macadamias. You go to Tharaka Nithi County, the same. You go to Meru County, the same. Our problems is water. Our problem, our roads. Our problem, electricity, irrigation project. We need to see government of the day, and also previous government did not implement some of these projects for our people. So if we are talking about Mount Kenya, we have seen a very, let me mention this. We have seen Kadhonwe Moshomba, very focal on the milk, on tea, on coffee, on those commodities which are in his constituency. Those are not commodities in my constituency. I need roads as soon as more than ever before.
There's a clip circulating stating that there should be Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya
Yes.
West.
Yes.
So you are going to split the mountain. How? Which counties will be under Mount Kenya East?
Meru County, Tharaka Nithi County, and Embu County, Mount Kenya East.
But do the regions really matter? We are operating as counties nowadays, devolution, devolved units.
For us to be able to get what we need, we must be able to bargain. We need our roads to be constructed. We need irrigation projects.
So politically?
We need dams for irrigation. We need people, our people, to have power connection.
Well, now to Julia, on matters education.
Power has been connected in families where there is coffee, where there is tea, where there is milk. Where there are no these commodities, no power connection, well, no roads,
Julia, on
no infrastructure.
Now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Kupet is adamant that the strike is on.
Yeah, but the strike is on, especially on the secondary school, public secondary schools. But Mheshimiwa, how do you say you are not in Mount Kenya? Like
I'm in Mount Kenya?
No.
Mount Kenya East.
but there's no way we are going to separate the mountains.
In Mount
Anyway,
Kenya,
that is not a discussion we'll have here.
That's a discussion for another day.
But you're in Mount Kenya as far as I'm concerned. And actually, Bera is even very rich. They have vast land they have very vast land. They grow dengu, the green grams, they have jugu. It's only a matter of doing fortification there, and you get the county very...
Focus on matters of education.
Anyway.
No. Let's focus on matters of education. Students are home.
There
are certainties of whether they are supposed to go back to school.
On a very serious note,
in terms of
education...
in terms of tarmac,
yes.
Let me put this straight.
We are shifting
in terms
our
of tarmac roads, Better North has only 38 kilometers.
A conversation for another day.
Fine.
A constituency of 771
square
kilometers.
I think we need to talk the CS transport, but
on the critical matter of education.
Education is an equalizer, and it is unfortunate that the government is not able to fulfill the CBA. You know, all the time teachers are complaining. And I wonder, why is it very hard for a government to employ teachers to, of course, the government has tried to employ a few. We actually commended for that. But why is it hard for them to fulfill the CBA? When we have a lot of money that is going into waste, into a lot of tours in this country and out of this country, the money that can be used to pay teachers. So I would like to talk to the parents who have their children at home who are actually candidates. Let them continue preparing at home as the government tries to look into this issue, because the government needs to look at it with immediate effect. Because if the students continue staying at home, it means their performance will be down, and the public schools will be disadvantaged because the public schools are already in school. Well, and therefore that's why we need this CBA to be implemented. Prof.
Fred Ogola, in terms of getting our priorities right, teachers are on the strike. Of course, the president has promised at least 13 billion by the end of this month, but we went ahead to even enter a deal of 14.2 billion of printing currencies at a time that our own teachers have no money.
Yeah, first of all, let me say that we have a government that has no priority where it matters. The government is more politically concerned, more than economically concerned, yet the deep-sitting issue in Kenya is economics. How can someone have a decent living in terms of income just for food, basic necessities? How can we invest in our future, which is our education sector? How can we be able to invest in comfort, which is government services? Passports, 1 year has not been issued, but the focus is politicians, campaigns, homecomings, and all those things. Printing money, the issue of the printing money deal, I actually featured on TV telling people that there's a lot of risk there, because why are we just focusing on changing a signature from the PS of Treasury? What is important about spending that money? The money teachers are looking for is enough, even for JSS teachers, I want to say for 13.6 billion shillings to actually clear that one. For doctors, the same. I can count for you non-priority budget items. For example, I know that Raila Odinga's AU seat is very important for the country, but they launched a 50 billion fund to get him the seat. So
it's not even 5 billion?
Yeah, so I'm asking myself...
Amina Mohammed used about 500 million.
Yeah, those are the things.
So the figure could be up to 100 times more.
Those are the things you're being told. What? Look at even that state house function, isn't it? You know, there are so many things that you're being told that are not true. When it is about that, they underestimate, isn't it? But the real figures are really critical. Let me not go to details here. The one now distract me from keeping my 1.5 minutes.
50 billion.
Yes, that is the money. Actually, even the 50 billion I'm talking about is actually less. The money will be spent. I can assure you this.
For the campaign, 50 billion.
No,
we're beginning to end up.
So what I'm trying to say is that for me, there's a lot of non-priority things. Printing money is also risking that the government actually could be looking for how to print money to access the economy. Those risks are there. And whenever a country is printing money, there's a lot of investor confidence that is lowered when a country is printing money. So there's a lot of challenges there, and we are trying to turn around the economy. And let me focus on what needs to be done in the education sector. If I was president, hii mambo ya kusema ati CDF, I don't know, bursaries, we know that there are 32,469 primary schools in Kenya. Secondary schools are 10,502. Take teachers there, textbooks there, so that every child feels equal by walking to school. But even there, go to the issue of the banding, the bands in the university education. That one is a problem because if you want to say that 60% of Kenyans are poor, but only 12% are in band 1 for the poor people, is unfair.
We are running out of time.
Let me finish that, because that band issue is important. And then this band, they are saying if you go to bursaries when you're in primary school and secondary school, then you get band 1. But we know that MPs like him normally give money to rich people's children, and therefore they are disadvantaged in this band. Then lastly, as a comrade, the word comrade means we should be equal. So when he comrade band 1, when he comrade band 2, when he comrade band 3, are in the same university. The university should be an equalizer, and I end by saying education has the highest return on investment, and we should rather remove money from house levy and put the money on education.
As we begin to wind up, Honorable Ruku, on Raila's AUC, and as well the Constitution is now at, is now 14 years old. Do we need to review it? Do we need to just commit to it? Especially on the cost of Raila's AUC bid campaign, it's estimated it could cost billions, not even 500 million. In fact, sources say that it's more than 5 billion Kenya shillings, costing taxpayers money. In a minute, even as we wind up.
We support Raila Odinga for the bid of African Union chairmanship, and we are going to support him as a government, as a nation. He's a true African statesman who can lead African Union to greater height. We wish him the very best. About the...
on the costs of the campaign?
The cost of campaign, I'm sure it's not 50 billion Kenya shillings.
How much is it?
I don't know. I don't know the figure.
If you don't know, how can
I
you
don't
say
know.
it's not?
I don't know, but I know
so
it can be.
And you don't have
No, I don't know. It can't be. It can't be 50 billion Kenya shilling.
Was it budgeted for, by the way, while considering the budget? Have you seen it anywhere?
No. It is not anywhere in the budget.
So maybe in the supplementary too, or they use Article 2 to 3.
Probably in supplementary too. There will be some money given to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to champion this campaign, because it is under the docket
on
of
the Constitution,
Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Remember, this is a Kenyan government project for Raila Odinga to be the chairman.
Whether he wins or not.
He's not presenting his papers as Raila Odinga.
Well,
it is Kenya government
on the Constitution
which is presenting Raila Odinga's papers, because it's Kenya's government candidate. Okay, and also other candidates from other countries. They will be the account. I mean, if for instance in Somalia, Somalia's government candidate. So about
the Constitution.
The Constitution, we need to have an audit of our Constitution. It is true, it has served this country to some extent, better ways in terms of checking the excesses of government that we have seen, excesses of executive. We have seen the Constitution doing very well, but also in terms of cost of implementing of this Constitution. The cost element, I think, is quite high. We need to check the representation. We have so many offices which are duplicating each other. Unfortunately, some of these offices can only be removed from our Constitution if we go for a referendum. A referendum also will cost huge amount of money.
Well, however, so even as
audit of the Constitution is required as far as cost implications is concerned.
Even as we talk of removal of some of the offices,
yes,
there was a promise, of course, of austerity measures, concessions, and even slashing the number of advisors. Moses Kuria was the other day appointed as the advisor of the Economic Council. Julia Shege has wound up on Raila Odinga's AUC and the Constitution in a minute or less.
For Raila, I wish him the best. May he get the seat, and if he doesn't, he is still our state person. He'll still come and continue with the things that he has been doing, and he knows better. For our Constitution, it's important we look at it, and we see the gains, and we should make sure that we don't lose the gains that we have gained. And also, let's look into the two-third gender rule. Yeah.
Prof. Ogola, in 30 seconds or less, amend or commit to what we have?
The Constitution of Kenya is fine, except that's one thing, that we do not have the powers to supervise and punish the leaders that we have. Especially that's why Concerned Citizens Movement is championing for amendment in the Constitution to give Kenyans power to recall the president directly without going through the parliament, because parliament cannot impeach the president. And that's why I was arrested. I've been arrested twice, and I'm not afraid of being arrested again. Until we cannot be able to punish someone we employ, we have no power. So give me a chance just to wish Raila Odinga very well in his AU campaign. I think he deserves it, but I'm asking Africa, why should a country poor in Kenya to spend 50 billion that you can get a chair? Djibouti is Djibouti is a small country. Even if it is 5 billion, even if it's 5 billion, look at Djibouti has a candidate. Is it fair? Why don't we just do B2B? You know, B2B is that we know Raila needs 36.
He's an economic and governance expert, Julia Shege, political analyst, and the Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, Mbeta North Member of Parliament. Thank you so much for catching time this morning. Yes. And that's all here on The New Dawn. My name is Joel Chacha. See you again on Monday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on K24 TV. Have a good day.
Follow the champions on the home of football. Watch the latest Man City content exclusively